Hi, my name is Scott Williams. I'm a professional engineer with Structural Engineering and Inspections Incorporated, aka SEI. This video was developed to showcase SEI services as well as discuss the positions that are available in the company. SEI is involved with a wide variety of projects. For example, this is a residence in Clearwater that started out as a simple crawl-space inspection, but that quickly turned into heavy structural repairs, alterations, additions. One of the first things we had to do on this residence was update the rear wall. We put in strong walls on the sides of the doors as well as updated the headers. On top of updating the rear wall, we also had helical piers because there was slight differential settlement occurring on the building. This picture illustrates the pre-development landscape of a property we worked in Dade City, Florida. Our client asked us to determine cut-fill quantities and what impact that the construction had on neighboring properties. One of the worst things that we found was that the contractor excavated upwards of 22 feet of soil at the bottom right corner of the property. This caused flooding, sediment discharge, and even killed livestock and trees. This is aerial footage showing an SPT boring at a residential property. We complete these on a pretty regular basis when we're doing soil exploration, settlement investigations, sinkhole investigations, and similar things like that. This picture illustrates the damage that happened after Hurricane Michael at a property in Mexico Beach. Specifically, the curtain walls were sucked out of the building, and during our investigation we noticed that there were prior repairs, corrosion, paint, and that obviously showed that there was issues occurring during the original construction that helped contribute to this damage. This picture shows brick that was sucked off of a building due to a heavy windstorm in Tampa. We jumped on a scaffold and determined that there was not enough lateral bracing holding the brick to the wall on the inside. We had to develop repairs to put the wall back together, as well as a plan for the contractor to follow in case there was any loose areas of brick on the building. This picture illustrates a roof that collapsed in Delray Beach. This is a pretty common condition on flat roof buildings, particularly older buildings that don't have sufficient drainage. And that's exactly what happened here. Exactly what happened here is rain just collected on the building, didn't have anywhere to go, and then ultimately the roof collapsed. This picture shows a sinkhole that developed in the back of a multifamily structure. It actually swallowed a retaining wall as well as part of the yard. This is another picture of suction forces during Hurricane Michael that took out a wall in a residential building in Panama City. This is a picture of a fire that happened in a multifamily structure. Typically in fire jobs, we're asked to come in, document the damage, and develop repair drawings to get the structure back to a pre-loss condition. So this picture illustrates a project that I'm actually working on right now. One of the things I found was there was a roof leak occurring above the kitchen sink. When we went and inspected the attic, it was apparent that there was a lot of modifications made to the roof system. In particular, this was a 50s era structure that had pre-engineered roof trusses installed on top of the old roof. As part of that, you'll see there's a 5-ply girder sitting on top of a frame knee wall that then sits on the original building. This 5-ply girder didn't have any continuous blocking under it. As a result, the top plate was crushing on the framing below, as you can see in this picture. There was also very poor strapping done. You can see here in this vertical strap here, there's only one nail holding the top plate to the stud below. And that nail's not even the right size. It's a framing nail, and nails and straps have to be much bigger. There's also just poorly located and sized straps for a big 5-ply girder. This particular girder held somewhere between 25 to 50% of the roof. So there's going to be a pretty substantial wind load on that girder as well. And this little strap you see in this picture, particularly installed into the end grain of the lumber, is not sufficient for this girder. On the other side of the girder, you're going to see deterioration of the lumber, crushing of the lumber, and actually cracking and splitting of the top plate. And again, we have more strapping issues in this photo. The contractor didn't even bother to put nails in the truss. And then here's just another photo showing more crushing and deterioration of this lumber. This picture shows a custom steel frame structure that has cranes that carry steel from one end of the warehouse to the other. We were tasked with evaluating how the owner could take the old crane and update it to have twice the capacity. This picture shows a Vibrastone column being installed. The probe goes into the ground, and then a tractor comes with a load of gravel to come back behind the probe, because the probe actually consolidates the soils around it through the vibration. We were tasked with doing vibration monitoring during the installation of these Vibrastone columns, as well as pre-construction surveys on the buildings nearby. We also completed post-construction surveys of the buildings so that if any damage did occur, we had a record of it. This picture shows the Weeki Wachee Spring State Park, specifically the rooftop of the underwater theater looking down into the spring. Our client asked us to value engineer the plans, design the sheet pile wall, timber piles, as well as complete vibration monitoring for the project. This picture is of a transfer station for a landfill. At a transfer station, big tractors are used to push the trash into the back of the warehouse. As a result of this, the trash can come into contact with the structural elements of the warehouse. For example, the column on the back of this particular warehouse was shifted out of the retaining wall, and we were tasked with documenting this damage as well as providing repair recommendations on how to address it. So these are just a couple of the projects that we're working on, and I just wanted to just kind of showcase some of the different things we can do. And now let's get into the presentation. The intent of this presentation is to discuss available positions at SEI, how to apply, and the intent is to introduce SEI to candidates interested in a career in structural and geotechnical engineering. Don't let the name fool you, we do both structural and geotechnical engineering. SEI was founded in 2002 by Byron Anderson and Thomas Miller. The firm was formed with the fundamental principle of providing the highest level of service possible in the structural and geotechnical engineering fields. The professional engineers at SEI have more than 60 years of combined engineering experience and pride themselves in providing real-world solutions that meet the requirements set forth in codes and by regulatory bodies. While the firm is based in Florida, our services are not limited to that area, and operations extend throughout the United States. SEI specializes in structural engineering as well as geotechnical engineering, including residential and forensic engineering, threshold and insurance inspections, light commercial projects, as well as soil testing and exploration. So when Tom and Byron sat down and decided that they were going to start a new company, they made a list of business philosophies that they aspired to adhere to help grow the company. So a few of those philosophies are: above all else, deliver projects on time with the highest quality possible. Realize long-term relationships extend beyond current projects. Always listen to what a client or employee has to say and follow through. Teach employees to treat clients the way co-owners do. Seek to be your client's sole source of engineering. Create a fee schedule to help your client budget future projects. Do not nickel and dime clients or employees. Educate your clients and employees. Have a complete employee handbook and use it. Create a master's program to avoid repetitive work. Realize profitability is tremendously influenced by the choice of clients. Sell the principle that lower engineering fees only results in less thought and design, which results in increased cost of the structure during construction due to lack of detail. This is a quick resume of Byron, the CEO of the company. He has a Master's of Science in Civil Engineering from USF. He's been practicing engineering for 25 years. He is a licensed professional engineer in several states. It's listed below there. He's also a general contractor and adjunct professor at USF. He's also a certified Florida neutral evaluator, a special inspector, and has completed his wind umpire certification course. Tom Miller is the president of the company. He has 26 years of experience, just one more than Byron. He has a Bachelor's of Science degree in Civil Engineering from FIT, and he's a professional engineer, a neutral evaluator, mold assessor, AAA arbitrator, and he's also licensed in several states. This is my resume. I have 10 years experience, professional engineer, also a certified neutral evaluator in the state of Florida. And I received a bachelor's in civil engineering from University of South Florida. So when you go to our website at seiflorida.com, this screen will pop up and you have a few different options you can choose on how to navigate through the site. The most important one I'd point you to is this career link here, and this is going to have all the available positions that are available at SEI. So SEI offers a friendly environment, a smoke and drug-free workplace, and a comprehensive benefit package including health and dental insurance, generous paid time off, and 401k. SEI takes pride in its employees and strives to constantly provide an environment for professional growth, including opportunities for continuing education. Our primary goal is to have a diverse group of professional and technical expertise to efficiently assist our clients, and we provide training in-house. So these are the positions available at SEI right now, and includes an engineering intern, a drafter technician, and a construction monitor. So here's a breakdown of what we're looking for the engineering intern position. It's required that the candidate has a Bachelor's of Science degree in civil engineering, specializing in structural and/or geotechnical engineering. There's some required skills including wood, masonry, concrete, steel, foundation, and wind design, an understanding of geotechnical engineering fundamentals, proficiency in Microsoft Office, AutoCAD, project management skills, communication skills, and general duties include assembling structural drawings, solving problems as they arise, managing and leading others, responsible for developing client relationships, assisting with new client project proposals, invoice preparation, scheduling of jobs, site inspections, building code analysis and interpretation, and a whole list of other issues. And the candidate should expect to complete roof inspections, crawl space inspections, attic inspections, and really any general job site inspection that will be required for the specific project. This is a breakdown of our monitoring position. The primary responsibility of a monitor is to verify the contractor is completing the work in accordance with SEI plans. Typical projects include underpinning, compaction grouting, chemical grouting, flowable fill, sheet pile wall installation, and a number of other varying projects. The monitor completes daily notes, documenting personnel on site, site conditions, abnormalities, damages, work location, scope for the day, etc. They take photos and send daily summaries of the work via email every day. Construction background is a positive but not required, and we'll provide all the training in-house. And this job does not require a bachelor's degree in civil engineering. This is our breakdown of the drafter/technician position. It involves site inspections, construction monitoring, AutoCAD work, data entry, obtaining dimensions in the field, taking photographs, different notes of that sort, and generally assisting the professional engineer in the field as necessary. This is a professional structural engineering position that's available. I'm not going to go into great detail in this position, but it's essentially an EI with 4 years of experience and a professional engineering license. So now let's get into an overview of SEI services. This flyer illustrates the various services that we can provide, as well as the different states that we're licensed in. We complete drawings and inspections related to new construction, repairs, alterations, additions, and quality assurance inspections. That includes residential, commercial, seawalls, quality assurance inspections, specialty inspections including threshold buildings. In case you don't know what threshold buildings are, it's buildings where there's more than 3 stories, it's greater than 50 feet in height, an occupancy exceeding 500 occupants, and an area greater than 5,000 square feet. A school or a hospital are examples of threshold buildings. We also complete shoring and formwork design and inspection, additions. SEI completes structural engineering on an assortment of different types of structures, including reinforced concrete, steel, custom structures, one-off buildings, water treatment facilities, you name it. We complete truss engineering, truss repairs,
We're often asked to peer review other people's drawings to provide value engineering. We also complete reserve studies for multifamily buildings and condo associations. We complete pre-purchase inspections. Very often we uncover some serious structural damage during our inspections that requires a repair, and we're suited to do the inspection as well as design the repair. We're involved with various geotechnical engineering projects. It includes foundation design such as driven piles, helical piers, auger cast piles, mat foundations, and more. Naturally, as part of geotechnical engineering, we complete soil testing and exploration. SPT borings, which are pictured here, are the most common type of tests we complete. We complete a number of sinkhole investigations. It involves testing the soil, determining the cause and origin of damage, determining whether or not structural damage has occurred to a building as a result of sinkhole activity, and as necessary, providing repair recommendations to mitigate sinkhole activity. We complete inspections related to foundation settlement, complete soil testing to determine the cause and origin of the settlement, and provide repair recommendations. We're involved with a number of projects related to forensic engineering and inspections. This includes fire damage and inspections and associated repairs. Disaster response and assessing hurricane damage is a big percentage of what we do at SEI. One of the most common things we have to look for when we're assessing hurricane-related damage is whether or not the damage is related to flood or it's related to wind. As you can see in this picture, it's pretty obvious that wind took out this building. It's also pretty obvious that this building was a lot better designed than this one. This is a view of Mexico Beach and the destruction that this caused. I believe there was a 17-foot storm surge and over 155 miles an hour of wind that came to this beach and knocked down just about every one of these buildings except for this one right here and this one right here. We complete assessments of commercial and industrial buildings, damage associated with wood-boring organisms. Historical aerial research is one of the best tools we have to evaluate the land development history of a property and how that might impact structures. For example, this is a 1944 photograph of the pre-development landscape of the Weeki Wachee Springs State Park. And you'll notice this circular depression here, which is an ancient sinkhole feature in the landscape. Fast forward to 2017, and that feature's been backfilled, and they've constructed all these structures on top of it. And there's no surprise that there's a few big cracks in the masonry in these buildings. We complete inspections related to car impact on structures. Complete inspections related to tree impact on structures. A good portion of what we do at SEI is building envelope assessment and design. It includes semi-destructive testing to determine the cause and origin of stucco cracking. It includes assessment and testing to determine the presence of mold, the cause and origin of mold, and the protocol to remediate the mold. It includes an investigation to determine the cause and origin of water intrusion and what it would take to put the building back together. We complete all different types of field testing. We complete load testing. Load testing is sometimes necessary when installing foundation piles to verify capacity or depth of the pile. Additionally, when new materials or connections are used that do not have values or previous testing and data to provide capacities, load testing is used to determine this information. We complete simulated hurricane pressure testing on windows and doors, As you can see in the photos here, there's a negative pressure chamber on the interior and a spray apparatus on the exterior. And the intent of this apparatus is to simulate suction forces in a rain event during a hurricane. We complete floor elevation surveys. We complete structure scans on masonry, reinforced concrete. This helps us locate rebar, post-tension cables, concrete thickness, etc. We have a construction monitoring department. We complete pile installation monitoring. As you see in the photographs, this is a vibratory hammer that's attached to a pile that's being driven into the ground. We complete vibration inspections. We complete vibration monitoring. We complete pre-construction and post-construction condition assessments. They're typically performed on structures prior to the construction of roadways, utilities, any kind of vibration source. And the intent of the condition assessment is to evaluate whether or not these construction operations cause damage to buildings. We complete underpinning design and monitoring. We complete grouting design and monitoring. A good portion of our business is related to litigation support and alternate dispute resolution. As an expert witness, the special knowledge for a specific subject matter is used to provide a professional opinion and/or testimony related to that specialized subject. SEI's engineers have served as expert witnesses in thousands of matters related to structural engineering, geotechnical engineering, roofing, and building envelope failure.
Thank you for taking the time to learn about SEI. If you have any questions, please join us on the live group session at the end of the job fair. Also, please visit us at seiflorida.com. Again, I'm Scott Williams with Structural Engineering and Inspections, and we look forward to working with you. Thank you. Bye.